glad to have you. And now I think we will turn it over to Brooke and then Matt to give you a little bit of information about the clubs, the balls, the cards, and dress code. Brooke's been kind of our point person collecting all the information.
Hey guys, nice to see you guys again. So with being on this Zoom call, you probably got the email that we sent out verifying your registration. And there was a couple of housekeeping items, just verifying your skill level. So I have a list here. I won't necessarily read it off. I'll follow up with you guys afterwards. But if you did not send it to me yet, please do send me or I'll follow up with you if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced for your skill level. We'll also need to know if you have your own clubs or if you will need clubs, because if you need clubs, we will provide those for you in this package. The course will have those, so we'll just have that prepared for you. Also, I do have, one of the ladies said she was left-handed too, so if you have any special preferences, just make sure you let us know on that for if you're borrowing clubs. And then the last two things, if you have a change in your company or your name, let us know because we do make name tags for you guys. And then at least starting off, we need to make sure you guys are in groups with the social distancing. So if you have a group that you would like to be with, you can let us know and we'll get that together. It doesn't mean you have to be in that group of 4 the entire series, but we do want to make sure we can just start off the first session with a certain group of 4 so you guys can all get out there. If you are a beginner, you will start doing some instructions, so you don't necessarily have to be in a group necessarily, but just give us who your preference are so we can kind of get that together for you. So if you haven't sent that to me, if you could shoot me an email, it's in the email we had sent out. It's Brooke, BROOKE at fambusiness.org. And if I don't get it from you within the week, I will reach out to you directly too.
And we will, for new people, we will be including the balls, the clubs, whatever pieces and cards, and Matt can go over how that works. And the how the wine, we will provide and beer. If you want those, there'll be a credit for that. And then the dress code for new people, they generally prefer to have like a collared shirt, but you can wear shorts or shirts or skirts and whatever, like sneakers. You don't need the fancy golf shoes. So it's fairly casual there at the golf course. So now I'll turn it over to Matt.
Yeah, so just jumping on the back of what Catherine and Brooke talked about there. Dress code, I guess we can go over that first. Collared shirt preferred, but generally speaking, any athletic attire works. My recommendation, we always seem to have individuals that show up for, whether it be a junior clinic, a beginner golf clinic on either the men's or the women's side, somebody might wear sandals or something like that. I would very much so caution against that. That's going to make it very difficult. Closed-toe shoes are very important. If you don't have golf shoes, even a pair of like athletic shoes or sneakers, running shoes, work great for, the activities that we're going to be doing when we talk about the golf swing. As Brooke said, golf clubs are provided. We've got plenty of sets, right-handed and left-handed. It's very helpful to know that information ahead of time, so you can just get that information to Brooke. She can parlay it over to us. That way we can have everything set up to fit everybody's specific needs before everybody even gets there. We set golf balls up on the driving range, the putting green, which we'll be using, and then when we go out on the golf course and we help with instruction on the golf course and we actually play golf, we bring golf balls with us. So as far as that extent, golf balls are provided for everyone. Doesn't hurt if you have your own golf bag to, have a couple of loose golf balls in there, but generally speaking, that's all provided by us and what we do here. Tees in that same category. The only real, stuff that might be a necessity that we don't necessarily cover would be like a golf glove for either your right or left hand. So I would I might make a recommendation that everybody might want to check into getting a golf glove before you start next Tuesday. You can purchase it here at the golf shop or, just anywhere generic, sporting goods, Dick's, golf tees, something like that.
And then just to piggyback on that as well, if you are a right-handed golfer, traditionally you wear a left-handed glove. And if you are a left-handed golfer, traditionally you wear a right-handed glove. would say that on the packaging, but can get a little confusing. Apparently, there was just no possible way for the golf club industry to make that easy enough to make it unified. So just something you want to be aware of when you pick out a glove.
And so that covers clubs, golf balls, the dress code. What else do we have to cover here? So we need to cover the wine portion of the event. So how we do this, when everybody checks in, and I'll kind of get into the whole check-in process a little bit later on, but when everybody checks in, one of the things you're going to receive is going to be, the name tag and then an actual ticket that can be used towards a glass of wine or a, drink at the bar. So that ticket, if you will, essentially is a $5 value to it, which covers the cost of a glass of wine, a couple domestic beer options as well. If you were to get a well drink or a craft beer that was over $5, there would be an upcharge for it. You'd essentially pay the difference between $5 and whatever the total cost of the drink was. So that's how that goes. Everybody will get one of those when they check in right before 5 p.m. That ticket.
And you'll be checking in with me. So you need a name we need to check off who's been there. You'll get a name tag and a drink ticket. So there's method to our madness.
And so I don't want to go over all of that exactly just yet. We'll get into the run of the show in a second here. So that covers that portion of it. Drink ticket doesn't necessarily have to be used after the round of golf. Most people choose to do it that way, but if you want to grab a drink beforehand, it's kind of funny how these things always work out. It seems that the first week, everybody waits until the very end to get the drink, and then as everybody gets to know each other a little bit better, people showing up a half hour early. Right, people start showing up early, and so whenever you want to redeem that drink ticket, is entirely up to you. Catherine, would you like me to run through the run of the show portion now?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So if everybody familiarized themselves with that.
Do you want me to share the document?
Yeah, that'd be perfect. So it's stated Tuesday, July 28th. So this is the specific document for next Tuesday, the very first night that we'll all be together. This whole.
One second, can everybody see my screen? Can you guys see the document we're talking about?
Yeah, we can see it on our end.
It's up.
Okay.
So this document here, again, it's specific for next Tuesday, but generally speaking, this is going to be the flow of the operation all 6 weeks through. Now, I will send out every Monday, I will send out this document to Brooke and Catherine, and, a couple pieces of it might change. Hopefully as everybody gets more comfortable, once we get into the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th week specifically, we're going to try and make a transition, to get everybody on the golf course as quickly as possible. So a couple bullet points in here might change, but again, the general time frame of what's on this document is going to remain the same, the entire 6 weeks through. So, I put 4:45 to 5 p.m. on there, realistically 4:30 to 5, something in that time frame. We're going to check in underneath the tent area. For anybody that hasn't been to Nunsession, our facility here, we got a big clubhouse if you just follow the main entranceway. And adjacent to the clubhouse on the right-hand side is a large tent area. It's a 2-pointed steeple tent. So that's where we're going to do check-in. Again, we're just trying to keep everything outside as much as possible. In years past, we've done check-in inside. So we're going to use the tent area for next Tuesday and then for all the weeks going forward. At the registration table, which Catherine will have set up, you'll receive the name tag, you will receive a drink ticket, and you will receive card keys for a golf cart for once we actually start, going to where we're going to be going as far as the golf course, driving range, putting green. So at 5 p.m., golf is going to start off the first hole, first tee box. We're going to play in foursomes. And the first ones that are going to go out on next Tuesday are going to be the more advanced players. So that gets into why Brooke was looking for, signups as advanced, intermediate, beginner, etc. Everybody that's not in the so-and-so advanced group that doesn't go immediately out onto the golf course is going to split into 2 groups, and we're going to use the driving range and we're going to use the putting green. The putting green is within walking distance of the tent. The driving range, we're going to have to take golf carts down to the driving range. Owen is going to be the instructor on the driving range. He'll have a ball set up. We'll keep 6 feet distance from everybody, and it'll be a generic grip, stance, posture, alignment, ball position, how we set ourselves up to actually hit the ball in the air. We'll take a few swings, and we'll kind of go over the very, elementary, basic introductions to the golf swing. The other half of the individuals who don't go down to the driving range next Tuesday are going to spend some time on the practice putting green and chipping green. John Welch, who's not on the call tonight, everybody will meet him next Tuesday. So that will cover both portions of that. We're going to do that from roughly 5 o'clock to about 5:45. And then by 5:45, our goal is to have everybody actually onto the golf course. So after about a half an hour, 40 minutes of instruction, whether it's on the chipping green, the putting green, or the driving range, we're all going to make our way in foursomes up to that first tee box with a goal of everybody actually being on the golf course by 6 p.m. From 6 to 7, we're all playing golf. I always say the goal is on the first night to make it through 1 hole. The goal for the second week is to make it through 2 holes. The goal for the third week is to make it through 3 holes, etc., all the way on through. There's no stipulation that says we have to stop everything at 7 p.m. If there's any groups that want to, continue playing golf until after 7, you can stay out there until it gets dark if you want to. That's not uncommon. Groups get real into it. They want to stay out there until it gets dark. That's more than okay. So 7 p.m. I put on that document happy hour at the clubhouse. Again, which is going to be with an emphasis of using the tent area and our outside deck just to avoid congregation inside. We have socially distanced tables inside, so our seating is extremely limited. For anybody that knows our operations, a little small to begin with, so it's going to be it's even more condensed than that.
I would like to add one piece that we really ask you to please be ready to go and play golf at 5 o'clock. Don't be coming in at like 5:15, 5:30. If I know it's hard and there's traffic, but if hopefully maybe there's not as much traffic now as there used to be, but if you can be there, I'll be there probably at 4:45. So if we can have people ready to go at 5, that's helpful. And if you're not able to make it, please email us or text me. I have my phone number so that we're not sitting there waiting for people if we don't know if you can come or not. So if you can't make it, that's fine. Just let us know either ahead of time or the time of the event, just so we have a rough idea of how many are going to be out playing.
Yes, 100%. The earlier, the better, without question. Helps move everything along. And the earlier everybody gets here, the more golf we can all play. So, yeah, by all means, if anybody wants to get here, even in the 4:30 hour, that's more than okay. So, let's see. Catherine, you want to jump right into, the next 2 documents on the PDF here?
The COVID guidelines, do you want to do that? Can you see that? The face coverings?
Yes.
You want to talk about it or do you want me to?
I'll go over it. So we'll just keep moving right along here. So we have, per the state of Maine, and as part of the reopening plan, and we're in the golf side in our business, we are in phase 3 of reopening. So these restrictions they've changed a little bit since we reopened back on May 1st. These are the most up-to-date guidelines that we've been provided from the state of Maine. Now, it would not surprise me to see these guidelines change in some way, potentially halfway through our program. So these are posted throughout the clubhouse, on all the doors, on all our social media accounts, right on our website. And we're trying very hard to, we have a lot of people coming through here in a given day. We're trying very hard to get everybody to abide by what the state has, instructed us to abide to in order to safely, run and operate our business. So none of these should be too surprising, but we'll go over them one by one. Face coverings must be worn at all times while inside the clubhouse. Obviously, that's a huge one. We have made, that is a requirement. It is posted very clearly on all the doors into the clubhouse that if you do not have a face covering, you will be asked to leave and call in via a cell phone to check in for golf or order a drink or buy something. So face coverings at all times while inside the clubhouse. Maintain social distancing. We're trying to stay 6 feet apart. No more than 5 individuals in the golf shop at a time. We don't have the same set of restrictions on the F&B side because that's covered under restaurant guidelines. So the golf side is covered under retail, the restaurant under.
And I have a question. What about the ladies' room? Is that one? It's a 2-staller, but like going at a time. One at a time.
Specific, as far as I know, there are no specific state guidelines that say anything about the ladies' room. We have
Okay.
2 individual stalls in there, 2 sinks. It's a little tiny. My recommendation would just be to, knock on the door before going in so that we don't run into a situation where we might have, 3, 4, or 5 individuals in there at the same time.
Okay.
So again, just, going down the list there, adhere to all clubhouse signage and distance markings on the floor. We have specific markings on the floor that try and limit the flow of activity. Keep it moving in one direction, essentially. Enter from one door, exit to another door.
That's all taped off. We have arrows taped on the ground. So for those of you who have been here, we have kind of our main entrance, where that's kind of the main point of entry. And we ask you to not exit through that door, but you exit out either of the side doors.
Okay.
So again, with limited indoor seating capacity, we strongly encourage deck and tent area. We only have 2 high top tables and 2 low top tables set up in the actual bar area. We don't have the 4 bar stools or anything like that set up. So, realistically, you might be able to get 10 people inside the actual food and beverage area at a time, which is okay if we can still social distance. The tables are set up 6 feet apart, the chairs are spaced out. But if the weather's nice and we're able to do it, we're trying to get everybody outside as much as possible.
And since you brought up weather, we will talk in a few minutes about rain dates or things like that.
Yes.
We're on. So.
Biggest thing for me, is what it comes down to. The whole general consensus of what's going on here. If you can't social distance, good idea to wear a mask, and it's going to help our business, and I think it's going to help most things out there. So that's the motto we've been using. If you can't social distance, just wear a mask. Should help to avoid any sort of trouble on that end. So this third document on this sheet pertains to the actual golf course itself. So these were, again, guidelines given to us as a golf course from the state of Maine that we must adhere to in order to stay open. So we're not the only ones that are doing these specific guidelines on the golf course. All the other golf courses in the state, generally speaking, are adhering to these specific set of guidelines. So we'll do the same. Again, some of these might change when we're, say, halfway through our program. If they do, we will update everybody and change plans accordingly. So the main one, that very first bullet point, cards can be shared by individuals if the persons riding together meet any of the following criteria. There are 4 criteria now from the state of Maine to be eligible to share a card. That's if you live together, you're directly related, mother, daughter, brother, sister, something of those likes. You travel together to the golf course in the same car, or you wear a face covering while sharing the car. So at None Such, we have 70 golf cars available. With the Wine and Nine program, we have 44 individuals playing golf. So we will have enough golf carts for every single person to take 1 cart if we need to. I'm optimistic that a couple people might, fit into some of the categories there and might be eligible to share a cart. If we can share a cart, it's going to make the flow of everything slightly easier. But worst case scenario, all 44 people can take their own individual carts and we can conduct the program that way. Onto the golf course itself, there are no bunker rakes on the course. So the second part of that bullet point, we can get into that when we're actually on the golf course, what that means. But essentially, when you play golf, you hit it in the bunker, you can move the ball wherever you want to take your next shot because there are no bunker rakes. There are no trash cans on the course at this time. So as a result of that, we just ask everybody, if you do have any trash, just put it in the back. There's a little basket in the back of every cart. Just put it in the back of the cart. We'll take care of it afterwards. Instead of throwing it in the woods or something along those lines. And then the last thing, styrofoam has been placed in the bottom of each golf hole. And we do that in an effort to avoid touching the flag stick, taking the pin out, putting it back in. You figure on a super busy day, 200 plus people might be playing golf on a specific golf course. They all touch the pin, common touch point. So that's been taken away. So essentially all we have to do is just leave the pin in on every green, which shouldn't be too crazy, but we'll see how that goes as we make our way through it. So that specifically covers, kind of the COVID-19 rules, regulations, info as far as clubhouse, golf course, golf shop, food and beverage. And again, I hope everybody, can kind of work with us around that. Obviously, it's not, everybody's got to do what they have to do to make it work. And we appreciate everybody's, effort in, adhering to those as best as they can so that we can continue to do what we do. And I think so far this year, that feeling has been reciprocated by our member base, our customer base, everybody that comes here. They don't want golf to go away. They want the general good and things to open back up and stay open. So, adherence to that has been very good on our end. So I hope that it continues to be as we go through our Wine and Nine program. I will say that our other Wine and Nine program that we're supposed to do on Tuesdays, we canceled that because it was back in June. So this is our first go at a larger Wine and Nine instructional based golf program. And it's actually going to be the only one we do this year. I think working with Catherine and working with everybody, everybody's been great in the years past. So I think that, we'll be able to get through this like we've gotten through everything else. And yeah, I look forward to a good couple of weeks with everybody. So that's all
Thank you.
As far as the, COVID regulations, kind of the run of the program, how that's going to work. Again, the big point of contacts are myself and Owen. Any questions, concerns, we can be reached phone, email, whatever. Don't hesitate to reach out to us directly.
And that goes for me too. I'll be coming to each of the programs and I'll be the point of contact. I might have Brooke or Bethany, one of our Bethany's our intern. She might help us. But any questions, any thoughts, anything that you need, I'm the point of contact. And it'll be a little bit different this year, but we want you all to learn. So if you're a beginner, you're going to learn etiquette and you're going to learn some of the other things about golf. But if you're more of a professional player, you've done more, then ask these golf pros if you want some specific training and things, because they can spend some time on the course or here and there. They'll do kind of group training, but if you have some specific things that you want help with, they're really great with that. Two, Matt always helps me find my grip and let me hit the ball. And when I listen to him, I can get some air. So, it's they're great guys to work with, and it'll be really fun. And then what we try to play rain or shine. If it comes to a thunderstorm or something like that that's dangerous, then we will call it off. But we will email you, the Monday before and let you know what's going on. So as long as you guys can keep communicating with us, that makes it helpful. And then the last class, which should be September 1st, Andrea Michaud Parker from Michaud Accounting Solutions lives down the road, and she ties in with us, and we do a kind of a potluck barbecue, which is fun at her house. So she has a bigger garage in an area so we can social distance or see how that goes. And then normally what we do is we have the scramble the first Tuesday after Labor Day, and then we let the men in if they want to play. So it's kind of like the final exam to be able to play a 9-hole. This year, because we're still limited at 49, we didn't know that if Janet Mills would lift the restrictions, if she did it on September 1st, then it'd be really hard to pull a scramble together then. So we extended it out to like the 29th. So the women will still, no matter what, you're going to have your scramble. But if they do lift the restrictions, then we might be able to let more in. So the first year we did it, we had 40 women, and then I thought maybe we'd have 60, but we got 84 people who wanted to play. And then the next year we had 116. So that could grow depending on whether we're allowed to do that, and our sponsors are ready to do that for us. Baker Newman Noyce is our overall sponsor, with Maine Biz, the Portland Press Herald's helping us, and for the barbecue. It's Old Port Advisors, Gorham Savings Bank. And so if we can do it, we'll go forward and have a fun chicken barbecue and do a scramble. And then a lot of people throw in prizes and we have a great time. We will have to make it earlier because it starts getting dark later. So we'll be sending you details on that. And then I guess what we'd like to do now is just kind of open it up to Q&A, and anybody who has a question, let us know.
If you have a push cart, can you walk or do you have to use the riding carts?
You can absolutely walk. I know that golf is like one of the only things you can actually do right now to get exercise. So if you want to walk, we absolutely encourage it. By no means is it a mandate that you take a golf cart.
Awesome. Thanks.
Do you have to have, if you don't have a cart, is it too hard to walk with the clubs? I haven't invested in one yet because I don't know how well I'm going to do with this. But I would prefer not to take a cart. Can I just carry my bag?
Yeah, so you can absolutely carry your bag. It depends on how heavy your bag is. Some bags are more designed to be easier to carry. They're lighter weight. And then some bags are meant to be put on the back of a golf cart, which we probably wouldn't recommend you walking with. But you could also use a push cart for that. We do have push carts available for, that you guys can borrow here for us, or from us rather, if you wanted to do that as well, if you didn't have your own.
Great, thank you.
Any other?
You're talking about that you're still going to do the beverage, food and beverage. Is the bar still inside, or are you moving that outside since we have so many people? I'm wondering if we're trying to, how is that like logistically working?
Yeah, so the bar on the inside is still inside. We're still serving, food and beverage from the inside. There is orange tape that signifies 6 feet of distance from the server. So, we generally ask that you stand behind that line when you order. And then, once you order, obviously the server's going to put the drink on the bar or food on the bar. And then if you're going to step away, you would then step in, grab the food or drink, and then take it to your table or take it outside. But there is no sitting at the bar.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay. Any other questions? Everybody ready to go play golf?
If anybody thinks of something between now and next Tuesday, feel free to just, run it by us, next Tuesday when we start.
And for those who are beginners, I still consider myself a beginner. I mean, we tend to have half the women are beginners who have never played, and then half who have had some experience. And my experience is everybody's really friendly and supportive, and you can get some tips from other great golfers that the women get. Everybody's kind of friendly. We're just there to kind of have fun and teach people how to play, and then give you an example with the scramble of what it's like in real life when you have to go on to a golf scramble. So we're really excited to have everyone. We're excited to have Matt and Owen and thank them for all their hard work. They've been great partners with us over the years. And I think a great testament to them is that, we sold this out because everybody has a great time.
It's true. And we're lucky this year, as I mentioned before, we do have John Welch, who plays on the University of Southern Maine golf team, and Dan Minkwitz, who plays on the UMaine Farmington golf team. Both are, really, as I said, really personable, great teachers.
And Matt Pelletier, too. Yeah.
So then we also have Matt Pelletier, is that UMaine Farmington? Who also plays on the UMaine Farmington golf team. So we have a pretty good crew of really good guys who will gladly answer any questions you have. And as just to reiterate.
Yeah, just speak up.
Yeah, feel free to reach out to Matt or myself. We love answering them. So.
And there's no stupid questions. Okay.
Especially when it comes to the game of golf.
Right. Any last thoughts? Anybody? No? Ready, Colleen? I'm teasing Colleen a little bit because she's a past board president.
It's like when you don't know what question to ask because you know so little.
You don't know what you don't know. So as it comes up, just ask us, you know.
I just want you guys to prepare yourselves, Owen.
Oh,
We're ready, Colleen. We're good.
we've seen it all. And some.
All right. Well, have a great evening, everybody. Don't melt. And we'll be following up to get us all organized. And we'll see you at a little bit before 5 next week.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Stop recording.